everybody, Mark from the Geek Church here, and today I got something that I'm really excited about. This is the Atari GameStation Pro from MyArcade. We're going to be opening it up, trying it out, and we may never quit. Okay, I have to say that out of all the products that I've received, this is a product I've actually been putting off reviewing, not because I didn't want to review it. Although there have been some products that, gave me some trouble that I always have to put off the videos for as long as I can, then I eventually make them. This one, I knew if I started playing on this, I would never want to quit. That's why I put it off for so long, and here's the thing. You might not see some videos from me for a while because I'll probably be busy playing on this thing. So yeah, that's what's going on there. Anyway, certainly has a lot of tape, that's for sure. Anyway, so here it is, right here. And let's, okay, so here it is, right here. It's got a lot of cool plastic on it. I kind of like it when products kind of are packaged like this. I just can't help but wonder, like, oh man, well, you know, when it gets into plastic, you always have to wonder about the environment and stuff. Okay, there's this thing right here. You know what? I think I'm just going to get to opening this right away, for whatever this is. So, let's see. Oh, we got a certificate of authenticity. I don't think I've ever really highlighted that before. This is what it looks like. Okay. So, I guess it's trying to say, oh, hello. This is a pretty thick instruction booklet for something that hopefully should just be plug and play. So I'm guessing there's a lot of languages on this. That's usually how that works. So yeah, anything else in here? Let's see. What I believe this is going to do is play 200 plus video games. And I'm guessing that they're all on, oh shucks. Does it say collect them all? Oh no. Do I have to download these things? Please tell me I don't have to download these things and I have to pay for each one. I was kind of hoping it'd be all in one batch. Let's see. Yeah. Alright, so let's get to what it comes with. Looks like it's got this thing, which I did not expect to be... Wow, that thing is pretty dinky for what I thought it was. If this was based on the old Atari 2600, which pretty much is my childhood from like 5th grade to probably 6th grade, because I have to say, yeah, the video game kind of went bust in 1982, and guess when I bought mine. Okay, I see I'm seeing an HDMI out as well as a 5-volt in. That looks USB-C, and then this is probably places to plug in the controllers, maybe? Alright, okay. Seeing this, here's the HDMI cord, okay, and I'm guessing that we plug this in the wall or plug it into, it's just got a USB-C. I could always get an adapter for that if this is what this plugs into. And then we got the two controllers, aka joysticks, and they've got a lot more buttons than the Atari 2600 had. The Atari 2600 had one stick, one button, and it was like right there. This has like and a bunch of buttons. So we've got like, oh shoot, we've got all kinds of things on here. There's looks like volume control. Okay, alright, so there is a select. I was kind of concerned about that. Oh man, you'd really have to get to do Atari 2600 to see what I'm excited about. Okay, the original Atari 2600 had a space on the top that I remember being, it had a few like toggles, because that's how old this technology was. And like there was like an on and off, and there was like a switch from color to black and white. Yeah, that existed. And then there was a place to stick the cartridge. Then there was a place where you could game reset. Like if you did that, you'd reset the game, or yeah, you'd start it. In some cases, you'd start just by pushing the button on the controller. There was also a button for game select, and some of these games they had like quite a few options for them. Usually it was the same game, but maybe different difficulty levels. Oh yeah, there was also these buttons for difficulty levels on the back that you could hit, from easy and hard. Yeah man, Atari 2600. That was an age. Okay, box is empty, so that's all about that. So really I guess the only thing I can do is hook this up to my TV, and what I'm hoping I can do is Twitch this from this. And I really want to do that, but we got to see if that's even doable. Okay, I got this thing connected to my television here, and you're about to see some really cool stuff in action. I tried to have this thing set up so I could stream it and then I could talk about it, but it's not really working properly. I do want to discuss basically the functions of this thing are like power on, and then there's like a menu button. I haven't really tried pushing that yet. Let's see what happens. Alright, not really much. I don't know what I was expecting from that. Seems like we're stuck in kind of a... oh, here we go. Alright, that's the starter screen. Basically, this joystick, or this controller, looks a lot like the Atari stick, even though the Atari 2600 only had like one button here. This has like a few. We've got that button here on the stick, plus the B button. And this is actually a paddle. There's going to be a lot of games that are paddle-oriented. It's these three buttons down here which you're going to need. There's like an exit button, and then there's a select button, because a lot of these games, they have, like, as you can see, like Asteroids has 66 different video games here, which means that there's a lot you can play on this, but a lot of those are just variations of stuff like that, and yeah. So I think I should just get started. Okay, so this is the main menu screen. There's these Atari games here, and then there's bonus games. I'll get to the bonus games a little later. Right now, I really love this setup here. Look at, you got this kind of awesome thing here. It looks like this kind of 80s-ish look of an arcade. This is a very spacious arcade, I must say. A lot of the arcades I visited in the 80s, they were very crammed, and they just had these, you know, they had like the games were all shoved up against a wall. I remember how arcades were done. That was like that. Anyway, so let me just get in. So we see our main menu, and you can view all the games here, and you can see on this top we have like them for like all the games. Then we have the Atari 2600, and then the 5200, which was the, oh man, there's a fun story behind the 5200. Essentially, the Atari 2600 was a huge hit, but there were other advanced systems coming out like ColecoVision and Television that had better graphics and just looked overall better. So what happened was Atari decided, like, okay, we're going to go to the new version of this, the 5200. But the 2600 was still selling very popular. So a lot of times, and here's the deal, ColecoVision and Television, you could get something that would be like an adapter for the 2600 games. But, so basically Atari 5200, when they would advertise it, they would say, hey, ColecoVision and Television don't play Atari they don't play all Atari games. And it's like, look at their Pac-Man. And they showed the Atari 2600 Pac-Man, and which sucked, by the way. The Atari 2600 Pac-Man sucked. It looked nothing like Pac-Man. It was Pac-Man in name only. And so they basically just kind of had to just... so basically Atari actually badmouthed their own earlier version games just so they could sell the 5200. And the 5200 didn't necessarily work very well. I don't think it was very expensive, and people didn't really want to upgrade their games. Yeah, and a lot of the games were just upgraded versions of something that was already on the 2600, which I have to admit were better looking. I mean, they had that. And the 7800, I don't even really know about that. I remember staying at a place that had a 7800. And I think at that point in time, Atari was competing with Nintendo and Sega, and which was in the late 80s, and they couldn't do that, so they just kind of put out, oh, here's the Atari 7800. Remember Atari? Remember Atari? And they were kind of like, and they put out some old games, and of course they updated some of their newer ones. And they also have some arcade games here, which I have to admit, I really enjoyed playing some of these. Some of these things actually look like they were in the arcade. And then, of course, they have the paddle games. And by paddle games, I think I showed earlier that the controller has something for a paddle. And if you're not familiar with Atari 2600, some of their games, like, say, Pong, just had a paddle controller. And if you had paddle controllers, they were just this little dial, and you could do things like that. I had very few paddle controller games. And when you had a paddle controller games, you had to switch them out with the stick, and yeah, so that was kind of interesting here. And so we have multiplayer and recent, and some of these things are more recent than they really should be. For example, Yar's Revenge, that really should have came out of the package right away, but I'll get to that. So here's the thing about this. I'm going to just show you a few things about these games here. And yeah, and they really went for the older games. Now, Atari was already a video game creating company. So they had a lot of, not only did they make the home console, but they had a lot of stand-up type arcade games they were making. And some of those they adapted to their own system, and some they just got the license for. So if you're looking for something like, say, Defender or Pac-Man or Galaga, you're not going to see it here, because unless Atari owned the rights to all of the game, you're just not going to see it here. But they so these are so I guess Atari owned Asteroids, because that's here. And so I want to talk about, say, this game, Adventure. If you have seen the movie Ready Player One, you're probably very familiar with Adventure. And I have to admit, this game is not exactly standing the test of time. And to show you, I'll just get into it. Because basically Adventure is a puzzle game that I haven't quite figured out yet. Now, this is something I want to show you. See how there's a 1 on the screen? If I hit the select button, 2, 3, you get it. So basically, yeah, this is one of those times in which, like, oh yeah, this is kind of crazy, but essentially, like, if you ever owned a 2600, then you know that there was instructions with the games, but when you put in the cartridge, chances are you might not know what you would see, really. So that was kind of how that worked out. And most of these things, they would say, like, they would say on the box, like, something different games. And looks like this one had like 3 separate games, but I don't know what the differences between the 3 are. And oftentimes you just had to play it to find out what the difference was. Sometimes it was pretty obvious. You could see it. Like when we get to combat, which I'll definitely show that. So essentially, like, a lot of these games on this thing, you have to, like, put it in here, then you have to hit the start button, and then that starts it out. So in this game, you're a little square, getting keys. And apparently they open different doors, which is, yes, that is the plot of Ready Player One. I will readily admit that. And then you're kind of going through this maze here. Looks like I'm a blue square now. I was a yellow square. So yeah, this is kind of a, I don't know if it's like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing. Actually, maybe that's not really a good, oh, that's probably not a good analogy to make. But, because, yeah, but essentially you get 3 different doors with 3 different keys. And I didn't have this game growing up. I didn't beat it. But there were puzzle games like that. So, okay. So apparently you can, oh, hey, looks like, oh my gosh. Okay, so there's like a gate here. Oh, there's a black castle. I probably need a black key. Okay, I'm guessing this gate is kind of like a, alright. This gate will allow you to access certain areas you couldn't access before, right? Huh. I guess. Hey, look at that. It's kind of like a little portable hole, so to speak. So, oh gosh, I left my key there. Interesting. Okay. I don't really want to get too, oh jeez, didn't I just leave that gate? Alright, I was just here. Alright. Okay, I can see what the problem is. And some of these games, oh yeah, see that? I just immersed the key in this wall. And I'll bet that's a glitch that this game doesn't have a fix for. I'll totally bet you on that. Alright, okay. Yeah, so, okay, I'm going to back out of Adventure, and since there's no saving, that was how Atari worked. You could not save a game, so if you wanted to leave your game, that was it. You had to restart your game all over again. And so let's get back to it. So say, for example, I want to play Asteroids. Okay, I was just talking about this earlier. Okay, so this is the 2600 version. So you'll notice that it says 66 different video games there. But if you want to really get to those, you just kind of have to like look through those and see it there. 1981. Wow, this is old. Okay, so this always usually starts you off here, like you're on this thing, and then you got to restart the game. Yeah. Oh shoot! I'm moving. I didn't want to move. Ah. Okay. That's turning. Oh yeah, that's okay. I forgot you get hyperspace in this game. Okay. Alright. Some of these games are very boring, and some of these games have passed the test of time, and I'll show you which ones I think are the best on here. So, yeah. We'll get to that. Oh, yeah. Ah, yeah. Alright, okay, I better... Can I clear this level? Oh, come on. Let me hit that one rock. Oh, it hit me! Okay. Next time on the next level. Bigger rocks. I like the colors. I think the original game was a vector graphics thing, so it was all black and white with lines and stuff. So, yeah. Okay, game over. Or at least I think it's game over. Oh, now it is. Okay, so that's how that goes. Alright, let's get out of there. And I actually think some of these games you can actually enter in a high score, which I think is interesting. So I'm going to go back. And so I'm going to try and I'll recommend some of these 2600 games that I like doing. I didn't really play any of these sports games. I doubt they have held up very well. In fact, I doubt they've held up at all. So, yeah. Oh, there's even Activision games. Interesting. I didn't think there'd be any Activision games. They don't really have Pitfall or anything like that. However, here, Centipede. Oh, yeah. This game has passed the test of time. If you're not familiar with Centipede, I'll get you really up to speed on this, because I love this game. I'll tell you that much. So, yeah. Okay. So is this one of those? Nope. I gotta restart it. Okay, and sometimes this really is terrible, because you have to hit select first, and then then it'll give you the credit, and then you can hit start, and then the game will play. Okay, this game is just as good as when I used to play it in the arcade, and I remember playing this on the Atari 800 or 400, something like that. I remember going over to a place and just playing it there. And yeah, this game is like really adrenaline packed. Yeah, and it's fast too, man. So yeah, okay, all right, that'll do for Centipede. Okay, that is one game I can recommend as far as that goes. So I'm liking that. Okay, what else we got here? Let's see, Circus Atari. Crystal Castles, this one is a really fun game too. I'll just give you just a brief thing like that. Might as well just show you that while we're here and while we're young. So this game I remember seeing in the arcade, but I don't remember ever playing it. So this didn't. Okay, gotta insert coins. So okay, press 1. Alright, so your little bear, you go on this thing, collect these little crystals. Okay, here's the thing about the controls, they're kind of, sometimes they work really well and sometimes they really lag. Okay, I'm dead, so. And he says, oh no, how cute. Okay, so now we're in the next level, and then it just kind of shifts over. This is pretty much just like the arcade version, actually. Okay. Again, this is also a very fast-paced game. I would definitely recommend. Any game that's like really fast-paced on this is really worth playing. So, yeah. Don't ask me why there are trees following me. I guess they're ants. Boom, boom. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is one of those games you never really cared what universe you're in, and you never had to deal with that. You were just there. It's kind of cool. Alright, game over. Well, I figured there would be. Alright, let's see what else we got here. We've got... I've noticed this game, Dark Chambers. This is an interesting... what was this? Is this the one where it's like... Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, okay. This one you explored like 26 levels of a dungeon. I actually played the Atari 2600 version of this, and I didn't think it was very good. This one looks a lot better. I remember getting really kind of into this one actually. So I don't think I want to give a demonstration of this. So let's see. Yeah, Desert Falcon was also interesting. It was kind of a flying game, but I don't really see. Yeah. We've got these old games like Flag Capture. What the heck is that? Drag Race. I mean, Food Fight. Food Fight is probably the. Oh yeah, and we've got the arcade version. So Food Fight is probably one of the more fun games here, and I could play this game for a while because this one is just. Yeah, I have no idea what the heck this is. Okay, insert coin. All right. Okay, now we're gonna start. I can select my cone. Okay. It's just a fun game because we can just we can grab food and then we just throw it. Oh shoot! I thought I was going to grab that food. Okay, now I did. And then, ah! Yeah, and then of course get caught. And the food gets attracted to you for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, you grab these pies and you just go. Yeah, you hit them. Well, and get a little cocky. But as you can see, I like the expression on this character. He's definitely ahead of his time. Dang it. It's difficult to aim on this, but you gotta eat the cone. Yep, you eat it. That's good. Okay. You see the point? I don't see any point in playing. So, anyway, fun game, Food Fight. Love it. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. How about Frisky Tom? Look at this one. I tried this game and I couldn't really figure out what was going on in this. And well, it's a little questionable there. He's kind of there, lady's taking a bath, and Frisky's a little, yeah, you know what? Maybe I better just move on from here. Okay, so this game, Frog Pond, is nothing more than you just hopping and getting flies. I'm serious. If there is a point to it, I sure don't see it. This one, Gravatar, I remember I had a hard time with this one, but yeah, it definitely has an arcade feel to it. I think this is one of those where you're actually piloting a ship and you can crash very easily, and I never really kind of got into those. So I'm gonna back onto that. Okay, Haunted House. This game I had as a kid, and this game's really fun. Or at least I can recall it being very fun. This is gonna bring back all the memories, I can tell. So yeah. Okay. In this game, basically you have matches. I know you're just this pair of eyes, and I think you have to find like 3 pieces of an urn, and when you do, then you can. Oh yeah. All right. Oh, that's that thing. Oh, yeah, ah yeah. So as I recall, that's the pieces are in the same place every time. Oh. Yeah, okay. I actually think that was it. Yeah, looks like I got hit. Okay. That was it. I just beat this game. Seriously, it was that quick. Oh, man. It's still fun, though. All right, let's back out of this. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Maze Craze. That looks like that could be fun. This one, iRobot, I tried, but I couldn't really understood it. This one, Meebzork, I also tried that one. That one was just kind of weird. Millipede, I'm assuming that's a, yeah, that's like Centipede, but on crack, so that's even more fun than you think. There's a miniature golf game, that's crazy. Let's see. Missile Command, they have that game, old one. They got the Atari and it's a 5200, and they have the arcade version. There's a lot you got here. So, Night Driver, I can't remember if I had that game. I actually think I had that game on Atari back when I was growing up. And of course, Pong, got to get that, which is just Video Olympics. And I found that the paddle controllers on this are really sensitive, so I really couldn't get a good thing going on here. So I kind of like this game, Raider Lock, was actually a lot cooler than I thought. It just involves kind of shooting and stuff like that. And it came out in 1989, believe it or not, which I find kind of hard to believe. I tried playing that for a bit, but after a while, I just couldn't figure out what I was supposed to do afterwards. So yeah. Oh, look at all the real sports stuff. Yeah, not really into this. So, So Roadrunner, not as fun as it should be, but yeah. So this game, Save Mary, I could not figure out. Ditto a Scrapyard Dog. This is kind of crazy stuff. Solaris. Should probably try that out. What is this, Space Raid? That looks like Zaxxon. I think that's supposed to be Zaxxon. Let's just say it is. Okay, so what else we got here? Oh, Breakout, yeah. Oh, and they have the Sword Quest games. If you are not familiar with Sword Quest, you should go down the Sword Quest rabbit hole. The Sword Quest was a series made by Atari that you could actually win real-world treasure if you beat the game, and I believe someone did. There was like 4 of these games: Earth World, Fire World, and Water World. Now you might be asking, Mark, where's Air World? Well, as it turns out, the company went out of business before they could get Air World out. So we've got these 3 games, and essentially, I think somebody actually, I remember this game I owned, and it came with a little comic book, and what you were supposed to do was you played this game, and when you played it, you were given like these little hints or something. So yeah, this game does not look like much, and it isn't. It just isn't. Okay, I mean, it's you going around this little dungeon here, and then this is pretty much it. You give it a little hint, and this actually corresponded to like a page in a comic book with a panel, and you would see this little hidden word. And if you got all of the 5 hidden words right, I think you went on to the next thing or something. I don't really know what was going on with this game. But essentially it made a promise of like treasure. So yeah, I was never able to really do much with this game. I didn't. I thought I had actually. I think eventually went down to me looking in the comic and looking for all the secret words, and basically I submitted all the words, and it turns out I only had 2 of the words out of 5. And because of that, I was a bold venturer, and I got a certificate saying that. I have no idea where the certificate is. I'm sure I threw it away. I mean, come on. I mean, why would anyone keep something like that? Unless you were a hardcore gamer, and I just wasn't that, so. Yeah, basically, that was Sword Quest in a nutshell. Yeah, you don't mind if I'm going to back out on that. I'm certain it's probably one of the reasons, besides the whole E.T. game, and the E.T. game is not on here, probably because they couldn't get the rights to it. That really killed the Atari business. They have Tempest, and is this a paddle control game? I don't think it is. It's a real shame, because this was quite a good game back in the day. So, but it's very fast-paced, which is, of course, any fast-paced type of game makes it worth it. So, okay. All right, so. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, yeah, this is it. Oh, man. This game won't stay still. I think there was a paddle control on the game here. But you can't control it with a paddle here. In other words, the arcade one had a paddle control, but this thing you can't use the paddle control. Yeah, kind of crazy. You think they would have that? All right, what else we got here? Let's see. We're getting to the... Okay, so Yar's Revenge. Might as well end with the last one, because this game really passed the test of time. If you're not familiar with Yar's Revenge, oh my gosh. Now I noticed some of these games you have to hit the start button when you start off, but some you can just hit the button and it'll start. I don't really remember what there is probably a premise for this game as far as like what you're doing, but essentially you're this giant space bug. Okay, and then what you're trying to do is take out this thing here. And you're also, there's this little line that's trying to get you. So, and these things all have names. I forget what they were. And so, yeah. It's actually easier to get killed in this game than I remember. Yep, okay. Oh, yeah, and you gotta avoid that. Okay. And then you use this, like, big gun to kind of take out this guy. And if it hits you, you're dead. Yeah, okay, got killed. Ah! Boy, that was easier to get killed than I remember. Alright, I obviously don't have a good, my Yar's Revenge, skills have kind of, Alright, see how addicted I am to this, see how fun this game is? Because I'm still playing. And I just beat it! Alright, yeah! Or at least, like, you know, then you just move on to the next level. That's kind of how that works. Very fun, one of their more fun games. It's hard to believe that, boy, and these games are not like the video games we have now, where there's levels, and there's foes to beat, and all kinds of things. There's just stuff going on. Okay, so those are the basic things, and I want to get into like some of the other things they have, because if I hit back, there's bonus games. And these bonus games, some of them are really interesting, but some of them are not. There's one game I really liked here. I don't know what this could be. Mega 3D Noah's Ark. Oh my gosh, I don't even... Story of Sodan? Is that supposed to be like Conan or something? Sumo Slam? Street Racer. Okay, that looks interesting. Brave Battle Saga. What the heck is this? See, and there's no explanation as far as what this is. So this could be like a really fun game. Okay, and maybe I can save it there. Who knows? Okay, I'm gonna say that this thing is a success. I have to admit, as far as my final verdict of this thing, I thought I was gonna spend hours on this, so I actually put off reviewing this because I was afraid I was gonna suck up a lot of free time. I kind of got bored with this after like a few hours, because once you realize like you have a lot of, once you realize what you can do here, there's like 200 games put on here, so, but there's really only like maybe 10 or so that are really, really addictive and worth playing. But you saw how caught up I got in this thing, so if I wanted to, I could do this. Unfortunately, I do have other things to do, like say, more product reviews. So anyway, so I'm just going to leave it at that, and this has been Mark Rollins from the Geek Church, and I am signing